Spirit of the Lord is on me, because he has anointed me to preach good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom to the captives and recovery of sight to the blind, to set free the oppressed, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor. This is Luke 4:18 and then part of 19. What's interesting about this is he's quoting a prophecy from Isaiah 61, and he's doing it in his hometown of Nazareth. That's what you see behind me, modern day Nazareth. But the people there, they had heard of the things he had done in Capernaum and other cities where he was performing miracles, healing the sick, giving sight to the blind. But they wanted to see it for themselves, so they quoted a proverb, "Doctor, heal thyself." Basically, perform those things that we've heard about, do it here. They wanted proof. And that's when he said, no prophet shall be accepted in his hometown. And he brought up Elijah and Elisha and how the same thing happened with them centuries before. And it just gets me thinking how we're in that same set of circumstances. You know, bodybuilder, if you can be very skinny and frail and you work out for years and someone doesn't see you, then all of a sudden they see you, be like, wow, like, man, you've been working out. They can see, they have that sight to eye, like sight to body frame. They can see that something happened and they accept that, okay, there's a change there. But when it comes to the Spirit of God living in you, that's where faith comes in. See, but that's the difference of when you can put your eyes to something and believe, and faith. We know in Hebrews 11:1 that now faith is the assurance of what we hope for and certainty of what we do not see. They could not see for themselves the miracles they had heard about. They wanted to see it for themselves before they faithfully believed that it actually happened. But instead of giving them what they wanted, he got up and left. And they actually ran him out. They ran him to the edge of town towards a cliff with the intention of throwing him off and killing him. That's the level of hate that he received. Now, I've talked about this before, but so many of us, I know myself, it's like you can be sharing and then you get to a point where you know you might lose people if you share a difficult truth or if you don't give people what they want to hear. All of a sudden they might go from friend to enemy just like that. But in order to fulfill God's word and be faithful and share truth, even if it might offend somebody, we have to be willing to go from being loved to hated. And knowing that our trust is in him and he's going to lead us out of towns. You know, we're told to kick the dust under our feet and leave a town if you're not accepted. If you share truth in love with grace, then you've planted the seed that needed to be planted. For we walk by faith, not by sight. And that's going to be demonstrated in and around us whenever we are living for the Lord, whenever we're trusting in him and being a faithful witness to those around us. Now, I'm pretty lucky within my family for the most part. They believe, or they at least don't reject it. I'm so far from perfect, and all of us are. People have a reason to hate me and probably hate anybody else out there, but they didn't have any reason to hate Jesus. It just shows the selfish nature of our human brokenness. So if you're sharing with somebody and you realize it's not being received, if you're feeling rejected for talking about God's word and sharing his truth, know that it happened to Jesus first. He wasn't willing to be a people pleaser. He wasn't willing to compromise what his mission was. He knew that people's faith was going to be lacking when it came in his hometown, and we should too. But that doesn't mean we should stop sharing whenever we have the opportunity. I pray this finds you well. God bless you. See you tomorrow.